Hi everyone, I'm Greg, bioinformator from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Moxfield. And recently they had a big sale on Amazon where they were blowing out certain products, and this was one of them. Innistrad Midnight Hut um, set booster box, and actually, come to think of it, I thought I was getting draft boxes, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, but anyhow, got set booster box, um, and there's still the the Meat Hook Massacre is available. It just got banned in, I don't know, standard or modern. I forget which one it got banned in, but it isn't banned in EDH, so it still has some big value. It hasn't cratered. Um, and there's some other stuff, but I've kind of like forgotten what's what. But I'm just gonna go through and crack these and see what I find. Um, and this one actually had a defective wrap on it. It had been torn already. So I have one more of these that I'm toying around with, maybe keeping as a giveaway, but we'll see what happens. Um, but here are our packs. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying this in close-up mode as opposed to what I normally do on these. So I'm putting these over kind of to the corner, so you won't see the full packs, but we'll come in here and we'll just see what we got. Okay. Art card. Land. We have our commons. So we have some uncommons. There. We have another common. We have common. Our rare is Tovalor. So, and we have a Lunarch Veteran as our foil, and we have a token. Token. So let's see what fits on the screen. Okay. And just out of curiosity, Tovalar Dire Overlord is only 62 cents. Okay. Okay, we have a signed gold foil signed land. So, Gisa Glorious Resurrector. We have the swamp. Common, uncommon, common, uncommon, uncommon, common, common, Ghoul Caller's Harvest, Festival Crasher, and minigame card. Okay. Yes, I'm truly trying to do this as a speed break. So I know that there's some good stuff that we can find in here, but probably not depending on it being a lot. But this was a very cheap box. So I'm trying to see if we can hit some gold. Liesa, Forgotten Archangel. Loyal Griff is a foil. And a magic minigame. Let's look up Liesa. The ace says 355, so not bad. Okay, art card, land, Voldaran Stinger. Okay, we're into our commons. Sunset Revelry, common, Burly Breaker, common. So here we have a Tovolar that's the showcase, but I think just Tovolar. Primal Adversary though, that looks cool. Return to Nature, and we have a list card that's Witch Hunt. Players can't gain life at the beginning of your upkeep. Witch Hunter deals 4 damage to you. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent chosen at random gains control of Witch Hunt. Interesting. I don't think. Yeah. So, it's rare, but I don't think that's going to be worth a lot of money. I don't have the instant lookup set up for the list cards. Okay, we have our card, our lands, and these lands are pretty. These full art lands from this set. I'm actually using these lands in my Edgar Markov deck. Okay. How did we? Okay, there was our rare was the Overgrown Farmland. And Ardent Elementalist is a foil and a token for a token. Fine. Primal Adversary is $1.12. Overgrown Farmland's 504. Okay. Got our forest, and it's a blingy one. That's sweet. Candle trap. Yeah, and I've actually opened up enough of this that the foil versions of the lands are the ones that I'm using in Edgar as bling. Sacred Fire, Purifying Dragon, Ecstatic Awakener, Mysterious Tome. This is a house. Unnatural growth. Yeah, it's 5 mana to get out, but what it does in my Stompy Green deck. It's a staple, and I have Dawn Heart Mentor in foil. A clue token. Yeah, so unnatural growth is 538. But yeah, that's just an awesome card. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. And it says each combat, not on your turn. So anytime someone attacks you, it's also goes to combat with you. It still applies. Art card. Planes. Okay, commons. Got some uncommons. Another. We have Graveyard Trespasser. Human Werewolf. Okay, so this one's got another side. Graveyard Glutton. I'm going to look that up. There's some graveyard ones that I think are on the valuable side of things. Okay, we got a foil common. Enclave Cryptologist. A Merfolk Wizard. Draw a card, then discard a card, or just draw a card. Huh. I think it's a common, so it's probably not worth a bunch. Oh yeah, I wanted to look up. Yeah, the Graveyard Trespasser is 340. Art card, swamp. Common. 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 More. Year, Disciple of the Drowned in Showcase. And also Sludge Monster. And then we have a Cathar Commando in foil. And an Elemental token. Yeah, so Lier in Showcase is 630. And Sludge Monster is 49 cents. Okay. Okay, art card. Forest. Common. Okay, into the uncommons. Mixed in with some more commons. Siphon Insight. And then we have the Covert Cut Purse in foil. And one of the Blanky tokens. Okay. Art card. Island. Commons. Infusion. Seize the Storm. Spellrune Painter. Okay. Common. Kessig Naturalist. Shady Traveler. A Sun Gold Sentinel. And Jack-o'-lantern in foil. And an ad card. Yeah, so Sun Gold Sentinel's 35 cents. So. The art card. And Forest. Commons. Uncommons. Firmament Sage. Hound's Tamer. And in Showcase, Dawnheart Mentor in Showcase. Wake to Slaughter. It's the rare. Abandon the Post as the foil. And we have a list version of Dryad Arbor. Art card. Primal Adversary. Plains. Plummet. Into the commons. Broodweaver. Dryad's Revival. Gale Drifter. Bane Blade Scoundrel. Visions of Ruin. So this is a commander one, so I think that I also won't be able to look up. Slaughter Specialist, so that one I can. And Tavern Ruffian in foil. With a human token. So wait, the slaughter is no big deal. The slaughter specialist is only 49 cents. Visions of Ruin, we will just have to go without knowing its value at the moment. So, the art card. It's actually very pretty. So that's Arlen Pax Hope. Mountain. Timberland Guide. So, Bramble Armor. Rejuvenator. Nebelgast Intruder. Dissipate. Fading Hope. Tavis Hauler. Bird Admirer. Geist Flame Reservoir. Hobbling Zombie. And we have a Song of the Dryads. So I do use this in my decks. I don't know, I haven't actually looked up its price in a while. But having an extra copy will come in handy. I won't have to move the card around or come up with a proxy. An art card. An island. Into the commons. Got the Festival Crasher. Brimstone Vandal. Dual Craft Trainer. Loyal Griff. I've started putting uncommons in the wrong place. Okay. Borrowed Time. Okay. More commons. Curse of Surveillance. And Kessig Naturalist in Showcase Foil. And an ad card. So there we go. Art card. This time we have a foil version of the Swamp. Okay. Commons. Field of Ruin. Clear Shot. Burly Breaker, Fangblade Brigand, common. Sarith. Sarith is another one that's an all-star in my decks. Shadow Beast, Sighting and Foil, and Wolf. So, gonna look up a couple of things. Okay, the Guy's Flame isn't worth much. So, Curse of. I don't think. Okay, so none of the curses are a big deal. Curse of Surveillance, 35. Yes, okay. It doesn't look like there's value in those. And then, but how much is Sarith going for nowadays? So Sarith's 301. But other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch, and other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. So while they're hanging out on the field, they're hexproof, and then if you tap it to attack, then it becomes Death Touch, and so that's very useful. And the other ability, one and tap, and then untap another target creature or land you control. I actually haven't used that much, but that does sound like it could come in handy. I think particularly in my green deck where I have some things like Karametra's Acolyte that can tap for devotion mana. So if I've already tapped it, then I could untap it and get a bunch of mana all over again. That might actually be a good use of Sarith. But giving my Tramplers Death Touch is even nicer. So, Defenseless Celestis, Cathar's Call, Bird Admirer, Dawnheart Rejuvenator, Gisa Glorious Resurrector in Showcase. Also, Teferi Who Slows the Sunset. So I will be looking up both of those. Then our foil is an uncommon Grizzly Ghoul. And we have one of these, magic-backed blank tokens. Okay. Gisa. Glorious Resurrector in Showcase is $1.27, so not that big a deal, but so Teferi Who Slows the Sunset, and so this isn't borderless, so it's just the regular one. It's like $10, $9.99. So that's the best hit value-wise so far, as I'm recalling. Unless one of the list hits is a surprise value-wise. Art card. Forest. Okay, into the comments. Raise the effigy. Defenestrate. So, Unnatural Moonrise. Play with Fire. Morning Patrol. Dawnheart Wardens. Showcase. Dawnheart Rejuvenator. A Hostile. So that's a mythic. Harvesttide Sentry is our foil. And with a zombie token. With Decayed. So the Decayed version of zombies that showed up here. Um, so the hostile is $1.06. And yeah, regular. Okay. Insectile aberration. Swamp. Okay. The commons. Bat Whisperer. Down-to-law. Neonate's Rush. Okay, there's a Ritual of Hope. Join the Dance. Loot Arc Veteran. Hound Trainer. Village Watch. The Celestis. Stuffed Bear is the foil. And the Beast as the token. Okay. Art. Plains. Turn to Nature. Eccentric Farmer. Evolving Wilds. Maybe the old ways. Vampire Socialite. Hungry for More. Blood Tithe Collector. Okay. Tavern Ruffian. Ecstatic Awakener. Rem Careless Stalwart Slayer. Flying in haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or opponent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or opponent the opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. I like the sound of that. Sigardian Savior in foil. So Mythic in foil. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return up to 2 target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And a Selesnya Key Rune is a list card. It's an uncommon, so odds are it isn't that expensive. Celestis is $1.42. Rem Careless is only 50 cents. But I'm actually slotting that into my, I have a copy already, and it's destined for my Edgar Markov deck where I'm doing vampires and knights together in the same deck. I'm trying to get some Anthem synergies going between the two, since Edgar is both a vampire and a knight. I'll find Cigar. Again, Savior in foil is only $1.13. Okay. I saw a Mythic in foil and got excited. There's the art for the mountain and the mountain in foil. So we've got our art card, and then we've got our foil mountain. Okay, commons. Contortionist Troop. Dawnheart Mentor. Early Breaker. Visions of Dominance. So this is one I also won't be able to look up right away. But this is a pretty awesome. Of the Visions spells, I think this is one of the better ones. I mean, I'm partial because I play green. But it's put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. And then it has a flashback cost of 8 and 2 green, but that spell cost X less the cost cast this way, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. And so I have a Halanadama deck where Kodama is in it, so it's 6. So for 2 and 2 green, I can do flashback. So that allows for some pretty explosive growth in a creature that perhaps already has trample and death touch. And here's the Visions of Dread. And target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I just don't like creatures stealing stuff. Flashback aid, it costs X less to cast away, where X is the greatest amount of, yeah. So I mean, for people that are stealing creatures, I think that's okay as well. Vanquish the Horde. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. So if someone's getting too unruly with a token deck, being able to cast this could save the day. And we have a Gavany Trapper in foil and a Vampire token. So there's a couple of things there. The visions I won't be able to look up, so let's just look up the Vanquish the Horde. So Vanquish the Horde is $3.99. So that's actually a good guard to keep in mind, because I actually do a lot of stuff with tokens and counters. So it's nice to be aware of what can be coming at you so that you can decide what kind of interaction you can have in response. So it can be difficult when you're in green for, interacting in certain ways. So, so maybe, in a Celestia deck, maybe there's more options to work against that card. But here's a Swamp in foil. Okay. Got our commons. Okay, Dawnheart Mentor. Dawnheart Wardens. Gavany Dawnguard. Okay, common. Rite of Harmony. Whenever a creature enchantment enter a battlefield under your control, this turn draw a card, and it has flashback. Pax Betrayal is a foil. And a Bat token. Okay, this one's a little... We have our art card, but we have a card that was upside down. Okay, it is a land like it's supposed to be. Somehow it got flipped. Famished Voyagers. Falconwrath. Okay, Morbid Opportunist. Necrosynthesis. Village Watch. Dawnheart Mentor. Rockfall Vale. So that's our rare land. Storm Skrillex. Foil. And the blank token. Right. Yeah, so Rite of Harmony is $1.25, 24, which we're fine. Rock. Rockfall Vale is only $2.20 for for the gruel version of the. Yes, I forget what genre these lands fall into, whether they're check lands or there's a different term for them. But essentially, you're looking for um, how many lands you already control. So it enters tapped unless you control 2 or more lands. Oops. Art card. And there's our mountain, which is also flipped upside down in this deck. So something happened in the factory. Sunset Revelry. Sunrise Cavalier. Sacred Fire. Shady Traveler. Shady Traveler again. A Dire Strain or Rampage. Eaten Alive in foil. And a Clue. Yep, this is a thing in this box. There's our art card. There's our land. Vivisection. Scob Wrangler. Death Bonnet Sprout. Ecstatic Awakener. Liesa, Forgotten Archangel in Showcase. And a Deserted Beach. Mounted Dead Knight. And Fireball as the list card. So as an additional cost to play Fireball, pay 1 for each target beyond the first. Fireball deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down among any number of target creatures and or players. Okay, there's our art card, which is before land. It's a forest land. Sorry. Commons. Purified Dragon. Cathartic Pyre. Thermo Alchemist. Fanblade Brigand. Suspicious Stowaway. Devoted Graft Keeper. Foil. And a zombie token. Lisa? Oh, come on. Find. Lisa. So Liesa in Showcase is $1.50. Deserted Beach is $7.86. Suspicious Stowaway is 49 cents. Okay. Okay, here is our second art card with a signature on it. Yeah, sometimes you only get one of those in a box. And here we have a Plains in foil. Okay, Secrets of the Key. Switch, consider. Ominous Roost. Faithful Mending. Faithful Angler. Travis Hauler. Fangblade Brigand. Sunstreak Phoenix. Revenge of the Drowned in foil. And a minigame token. Yeah, the Sunstreak Phoenix is only like 50 cents. So there's our Rem Carolus art card. Swamp. Some wolves. Arcane Infusion. Seize the Storm. Lunarch Veteran. Tavern Ruffian. Adeline Resplendent Cathar. So I think that one may have some value. And here's a Tovolar that's in foil at least. And a blank token. And foil. So Tovolar is 220 in the foil. Adeline in just the regular version is 903. Okay, there's our art card. Mountain. Commons. Phantom Carriage. Rootcoil Creeper. Overwhelmed Archivist. Avacyn's Memorial. So this is out of the Commander deck. Indestructible. Other legendary permanents you control have indestructible. So that's pretty awesome. Haunted Ridge. Blessed Defiance in foil. And a vampire. Okay. Of course, I can't look up the Avacyns. Haunted. But the Haunted Ridge is 1411. Wow. Okay. I'm assuming the Avacyns is worth something. So the deal here is that when I'm doing these price lookups, it's within the TCG Player, collection utility, the My Collection utility, and I have. So I go to like add new products to my collection, but it means that I have to select the set, and in these set boxes, it combines things that are in the Commander decks that accompany this set, and the list cards. So those are different lookups. So Avacyn's Memorial was something that got in via the Commander decks. So I can look it up, just not as quickly. So, and we're down to the last two packs. The art card, Mountain, Commons, Storm Skrillex, Moon Silver Key, on Heart Ordnance, which, so Consuming Blob, Infernal Grasp, foil, and Fodder Cannon as a list card. So 4, sacrifice a creature, and Fodder Cannon deals 4 damage to a target creature. So, yeah, I don't know at that rate of cost if it's something that it's listed as an uncommon, so it may be worth a little bit because it is useful to be able to ping creatures like that. But there are more efficient ways to do it. And we are on our last pack here. Swamp. Ritual Guardian. Harvesttide Sentry. Okay. Winterthorn Blessing. Turn the Earth. Rise of the Ants. Shade Traveler. Fangblade Brigand. Ludovic Necrogenius. And Falconwrath Performer as a foil with a bird. So, I'm trying to find Ludovic is not much. Consuming Blob is 70 cents. So, aside from, yeah, so I mean, at the price that this box was at, which was like severely cut, there's actually a chance that we did okay, because there were several 10-ish dollar cards in here. But to review, we got Ludovic, Consuming, so the lands, at least some of them end up being worth more. Haunted Ridge. I'm assuming Evis is a memorial. Some things are only worth a couple of dollars. That's like, I think that was at least 10 or 14. Suspicious Staircase. So Deserted Beach, I think, was worth some. Liesa was worth a little. Veil, I think, was one of the ones that was maybe a little bit cheaper on the land. Rite of Harmony, Vanquish the Horde. It's a nice card to have, regardless of what these are worth. I love the green one. Rum Careless, Celestis Hostile, Teferi, Sarith. To Slaughter. Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Graveyard Trespasser, Unnatural Growth. Overgrown Farmland, Primal Adversary. Yeah, so those were our rares and mythics, which includes some commander cards. And then we've got a Fodder Cannon, a Fireball, a Selesnya Key Rune, Song of the Dryads, Dryad Arbor, Enclave Cryptologist, and Witch Hunt. So, a few of these are rare, but that is, like in the main set, there's no guarantee that they're going to be worth much. But not too bad for this box. No Meat Hook Massacre, though. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that, well, for me, quicker than usual box break. and I will see you next time. Greg, Bioinformatter from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Moxfield. And have a nice night. Bye.